In today's sports ecosystem, can you tell me how ESG principles are transforming the way that football clubs are operating?
Well, nowadays, in my opinion, one cannot think of working in any field without thinking of ESG in sustainability. Therefore, here in Brazil, we are in first steps, but we are already working on these goals, which are not goals in the field, but are fundamental goals for the sustainability of our business. And we at São Paulo FC are working really hard to be able to share our first GRI report this year.
Then, from a compliance perspective, what are some of the most pressing challenges for sports institutions in Brazil, and how are you able to address those effectively?
Well, really interesting question. Thank you. I'm working with compliance in soccer in Brazil for 4 years. Since the beginning, in my opinion, the the, the changing point should be the changing of the culture of the environment, changing the mindset of everyone who works in soccer, because never before business were managed based on compliance principles. So it's been a really interesting work because not only we are able to help the institution to work in a compliance perspective, therefore work better with less losses, but also, and maybe more importantly for me, to help people to perform better, to work in an environment more healthy. And that's because in just a few words, we are able to address things, how that things can and should be done, and how things can and shall not, should not be done. And it's been really an amazing experience to see how people, how our workers are enjoying to be part of this change of culture of our club.
Yeah, because it's very interesting, isn't it? Because just with they're not small things, but from a few key elements, you can change the working environment significantly for kids.
Yes, indeed. We have a very important policy regarding behavior. We call it the respect policy. This is the most famous, let's say, policy we have. We have, of course, an whistleblowing channel, which has already helped us a lot. Mostly because through this channel we can understand much better what is happening with our workers, with everyone, and this is another small situation, but really strategic communication. Since most of Brazilian clubs had some old management tools, we lacked a lot of getting managerial informations to work and correct our internal processes. Therefore, we were able to create lots of channels to be really to reach our workers in way more effective perspective, and this is helping a lot. And the change of culture is increasing more and more every month, every year, and we are really happy with our results so far.
That's fantastic. That's really good to hear. Really good to hear. So, um, thinking about risk management now, which goes way beyond the pitch in sports, in football particularly, how are you able to balance business operations, brand reputation, and the expectations of your stakeholders in such a dynamic environment?
Uh, uh, this is another subject really important for us. Actually, it's a strategic subject. We've been working for really hard on this since the beginning of last year, and we are again uh, placing risk management in the desk of every worker in São Paulo FC. But again, this is a cultural a change of code, a culture, because it was never like this before. But it's been really interesting to see how people understand the importance of working in risk management perspective. I used to tell my workers, my colleagues, that everyone is a risk manager. Even the person who is in the door, as well as any executives, and as well as our president and our players in the pitch. Everyone is a risk manager for São Paulo FC. We all have to protect this brand. Anywhere, always.
I think it's just to go off the point very quickly. It's very interesting for me as a foreigner who knows Brazilian culture very well, because including and empowering workers within the sphere of risk in this way goes against what you normally see in Brazilian society, where workers do their job, but they're not given any responsibility beyond the very basic definition of their job. So this is actually a very empowering step as well, I think, for your colleagues.
Yes, indeed. I fully agree. And I think you got the spirit of our work, because when we talk about formation in São Paulo, we do not use the word training in a bad translation. And we use the word more knowledge. Therefore, our work regarding formation, regarding giving information to our workers, I used to say it's a process of giving them the best knowledge in order for them to take the best decisions. Not because São Paulo FC told them the decision has to be A or B, not even that because I am the executive that told them that the decision has to be this or that. In my opinion, and that's one of my most important strategics, we work to give our workers the best condition to think, to take the best decisions, and to protect São Paulo FC in a position of risk managers.
Parabéns, really, because it's very empowering what you do. I think it's great.
Yeah, thank you.
So the last question. So looking forward, how can football clubs in Brazil and across LATAM lead by example in implementing transparent, ethical, and sustainable frameworks?
Really challenging question.
Yes, it
I
is
love
indeed.
it.
Although, in a way, giving your last answer, that's part of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
already, to some extent, doing that.
You know, when we created our integrity program, we from the beginning we decided we shouldn't work only with compliance. We should take a step forward. We are working with integrity in sports based on human rights principles and values the best that we can. And from the beginning, we always thought that we should make the difference inside our institution, and this work with our workers, we call it more knowledge and not formation to to to, to just behave like an animal. And also, we believe that sports and soccer clubs in Brazil and also in South America, we can have a really important role in changing the world and the society, because uh, I've, I agree, I've always believed that there's not a more powerful social tool to engage and touch hearts than sports and soccer. You can lead by example, being a soccer and sports institution with much more effectiveness than any government, in my opinion. Therefore, we have this responsibility, maybe a social responsibility, and in my opinion, sports should take some protagonism. Sports should take some protagonism in this process of changing how the world should work regarding sustainability, social responsibility, and human rights, and so on. So, in order for me to tell anyone in the world how they should behave, I myself, I have to behave correctly, properly, inside my walls. And I'm really happy to share that we at São Paulo FC have increased a lot. We have still lot to work on, lots of stuffs, lots of work to 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 increase. We have many things to make it better yet. But as again, and coming back to your question, I really believe that sports can take a really important role in this changing the world movement for the better. But we are still in the first steps. I hope someday we here in South America can be like Europe and European soccer in sustainability perspective. And I am saying that because I would like to share how I admire the work that my friend Michele Uva, UEFA sustainability director, is performing there.